No, I appreciate that. I'm going to pick up where I left off, talking about the Tuolumne River specifically. And I'm going to highlight this because we can have real win-win situations when federal agencies work constructively with operators. And in the case of the Tuolumne River, the Modesto and Turlock irrigation districts worked with the Fish and Wildlife Service during their FERC relicensing process to develop a plan accelerating $80 million in habitat and other improvements that will benefit wildlife species and ensure that Don Pedro Reservoir can continue to deliver reliable water and power supply. We have other examples with floodplain restoration projects in California. We did about 50 million of those projects in the last 5 years out of the state legislature. Of course, I'm going to underscore again the point, Madam Chair, that the federal government could pick up the tab on a major investment in that space as well. And I think if we take an all-the-above approach, we could actually really move the needle on the available water in California for both habitat and for farming communities. But I want to open the question up again on how do we ensure federal agencies work with operators so existing hydropower infrastructure can continue to operate. And I heard a comment that the coordination between the state and the federal agencies could be improved or could be an opportunity, but it also can be a hindrance because in some cases these agencies are using duplicative process to get 2 bites at the apple for more water out of a certain project or making the voluntary agreement or the negotiated agreement unattainable. So certainly want to hear how we ensure the federal agencies work with the operators and with locals, but we avoid these duplicative requirements, I guess. What can the federal government do to ensure that we don't have that situation?
Is that for me?
It certainly can be.
Okay.
That's an all-takers question.
I would say that there is room for improvement on both the federal and the state side. I think that often the states are tacked on as an afterthought, and then they have to do their environmental reviews that are required by their state legislatures. In doing that, some of that does become duplicative, and it doesn't have to be that way. That is going to require some federalism engagement. That means the state agencies and the federal agencies are going to have to work together and improve that process. So there is that room for improvement. We haven't really engaged in that up to this point. So encouraging that, and Congress may have a role in encouraging that opportunity, but also ensuring that the environmental reviews that we're doing are relevant to the projects that need to be done.
I'd certainly like to see Congress encourage that, and I'll cite one other example, somewhat unrelated but related. Different states categorize hydroelectricity as clean and renewable power, and other states don't. And there might be a role for some federal leadership, Madam Chair, in trying to establish that as a federal goal across the board in all states, because I think these projects are invaluable both for the cheap and affordable energy as well as the important delivery of our water resources. Yield back my time.